I just clocked my mic wasn't even working. Let me see this. Oh, is that what they mean? Let me see. Oh, come on, man. Let me just access my videos already. I'm trying to access my channel. That's it. So what? That don't sound right. Matter of fact, I'm sure my mic is so quiet. Okay. Cool. No, I don't want to pause it. What I want to do. No. Um. How can I do an audio only broadcast? I don't think I can still. Alright. Well, I guess you guys have to see. Okay, just making sure that my audio is working. As soon as I send this in. Alright. So now that it's sent to quite a few people, I think I'll start from the top. UFL End User License Agreement. Last updated 24th of May 2024. Please read this agreement carefully. You must accept this end user license agreement and be aware of the terms of our privacy policy. This end user license agreement, the in quotation marks agreement, is a legally binding contract between you, the user, and X10 Limited, acting on the publishing brand Strikers Inc., having its registered office at Office 701, Archiepiscop. Didn't think I fumbled that, brother. I tried to practice that in my head. I'm gonna act like nothing happened. Office 701, Archiepiscopu, Macariu III, 169, Cedar Oasis Tower, 3027, Limassol, Cyprus. The publisher, we or us. Regarding your access to and use of the publisher's free-to-play football simulation/management video game, UFL, the game, including any related content, services, and modifications as defined in Section 3.1 thereto, and if purchased or otherwise earned according to this agreement, any additional content as defined in Section 2 below, collectively, the services. If you are a resident of Australia, European Economic Area, South Korea, United Kingdom, or United States of America, some specific provisions might apply to you. See Section 16 for details. From my accent, you can pretty much tell that I am a resident of at least one of those territories. Important notice for users from the United States of America, which I'm clearly not from. This agreement contains a binding individual arbitration and class action waiver provisions. See Section 16.5 for details. To enter into this agreement, you must be a person of full legal capacity over 18 years of age or the age of majority in your country of residence, whichever is older. If you are under 18 years of age or the age of majority in your country of residence, you must seek your parent or legal guardian to read and accept this agreement before any use of the services. If you permit your minor child or legal ward to use the services, you agree to this agreement on behalf of them and yourself and remain responsible for their actions, including all purchases made by them. The publisher recommends that parents and guardians familiarize themselves with parental controls on the devices used by their child. I can assure you, as owner of the YouTube account Blue Kelly and the PlayStation account. Stop voice control, please. I can assure you that. I am partly familiar with parental controls on my device of choice, the PS5. by downloading, accessing, or using any part of the services, clicking on the Accept or similar button, or otherwise accepting this agreement. You agree to the terms of this agreement. If you do not agree, do not download, access, or use our game or any other part of the services. I don't know what they mean by similar button. There literally is only the option to accept, decline. Because I don't feel privacy. But wait, if I press triangle, what's? Oh, okay. It's probably shorter. Not gonna lie. I mean, I kind of already started the agreement. I kind of want to move on to the privacy policy, but I already started it, so let's lock in. Paragraph 1. License. Section 1.1. Upon your acceptance of this agreement, we grant you and you accept a personal, non-exclusive, non-transferable, non-sublicensable, revocable, non-perpetual, limited right and license to use the services on compatible devices you own or control for your personal, non-commercial and entertainment purposes, the license. Except as expressly set in this agreement, we do not grant any express or implied rights to you. The rights that we grant you under the license are subject to the terms of this agreement and expressly conditioned upon your compliance with this agreement. Subsection 1.2. You agree that you are solely responsible for the installation or deployment of any part of the services or any part thereof, and that we assume no responsibility to set up, personalize, control, synchronize, or provide you with any sort of instructions on installation or deployment, or otherwise integrate the services or any part thereof. We shall not be held liable, and there will not be a lack of conformity due to shortcomings in the integration or deployment carried out by you or on your behalf. Express or implied rights to you. Okay. I can't think of anything outside of the scope of actually playing the game as like a user. What would be meant by express or implied rights to you? That makes sense, being solely responsible for those things. But I can't lie, I had a little run in. People that I sent the link to know with Xbox and EA and whatnot. So they should have assumed their responsibility to set up personalized control, synchronize, or provide me with any sort of instructions or installation or deployment or whatever in it. But that's in the past. I'm here to you for UFO. For what was I saying? I'm here for you. I'm here to avoid that with UFO. This is just the beta, though, isn't it? Something a little bit juicier. Paragraph 2. In-game currency, items, and premium upgrades. Section 2.1. As part of the services, the publisher may offer you the ability to acquire limited licenses as set in Section 2.3 below, to certain additional digital content or digital services to be used within the services. In particular, when using the services, you may earn or purchase, as applicable, in-game virtual currency, the in-game currency, in-game virtual items, collectively the in-game items, or premium upgrades that provide additional digital content or digital services and intended to enhance your user experience, collectively the premium upgrades. I thought I saw a grammatical error, but it might not be. In particular, and intent. I don't quite get that. Yeah, that first sentence makes sense. and are intended, which are, I don't know, and intended. I've got Grammarly that way, but I don't. I just want to crack on with it, mate. 2.1. That's a little bit of a flag in language. All right. Subsection 2.2. You agree that it is in our and external platforms' sole and absolute discretion to determine the in-game currency, in-game items, or premium upgrades. Collectively, the additional content, purchasing price, offers, or sales. Makes sense. Just as it is a user's sole and absolute discretion to engage, with, to use, to deploy these things, or not to deploy these things. Did we already cross into subsections that were mentioned earlier? 16.5, 16. Additional content is in. Okay, cool. So additional content, as defined in section 2 below, they've already defined it. The additional content is in-game virtual currency, in-game virtual items, or premium upgrades. Yeah, as defined in 2.2, basically. I saw something about section 3, just to make sure we haven't. Section 3.1, okay. 16.5, I'm not American anyway, but I'll read it anyway. It's fine, 2.3 now. Section 2.3. You acknowledge and agree that you do not own the additional content and that you only acquire a personal, non-perpetual, non-exclusive, non-transferable, non-sublicensable, revocable, limited right and license to use such additional content for your personal, non-commercial, and entertainment purposes as part of the services. The license to use the additional content will terminate upon termination of this agreement. Does that mean people can't use these things when they're streaming? Because would streaming not be defined as a commercial activity for which you're gaming in? Is that what they're trying to say? Anyway, I digress. Section 2.4. Actually, did section 1 talk about any of the... No, it didn't. Limited licenses. Okay, yeah, so that's the limited licenses that they said they were going to mention in 2.1. Now we're on 2.4. Section 2.4. Additional content cannot be used outside of the services. It has no real value and cannot be exchanged, redistributed, traded, consumed, or redeemed for non-game real currency. Products and goods, services, or property in any form, neither by us nor by third parties, except as expressly permitted in the services. You further agree and acknowledge that in-game currency may only be used as part of the services to acquire the in-game items or premium upgrades. In-game currency is depleted as it is consumed, in brackets used, and can be earned or purchased as applicable again. Cool. Very cool. Redistributed for non-game. In-game currency may only be used to acquire in-game items or premium upgrades. Okay. Okay. Cool. Now I just skimmed the 2.5. I've just read something I've never seen before. Let me go live. 12:31. That's crazy. All right. Section 2.5. Without prejudice to other terms of this agreement, we retain the right to inter alia, delete, withhold, alter, remove, change, amend, replace, reprice, modify, delist, cancel, or impose certain thresholds on the amount of the additional content that may be earned, purchased, redeemed, held, stored, consumed, or used in whole or in parts at our sole and exclusive discretion, with or without further notice to you. Neither the publisher nor any other person or entity shall bear liability of any kind whatsoever based upon the above. Let's see what Kurt would have to say about that. Free Kurt. But that's okay, it's UFO, mate. No track record of anything just yet, apart from taking 40 mil euros. What was it, 40 mil euros of Cristiano Ronaldo or something? It's a good thing I've got better enunciation when I'm reading these, because it falls apart. 2.6. All online purchases and respective payment transactions are processed by external platforms associated with your device and their respective payment service providers. By making online purchases, you agree to comply with all terms and conditions set by those external platforms and their respective payment service providers. The publisher disclaims any liability of any nature for such external platforms' actions. For platform-specific terms, please also see Section 15. I think that's the next mistake that I caught. Wasn't a good flow, and someone had to enter the room. He probably thinks I'm a madman for even quoting these. This ain't no Sideman diss track. Alright. Section 2.7. You agree that we will start the performance of the purchasing contract for the additional content or for any other digital content or digital service we offer to purchase immediately after acceptance of your request. So basically when you buy, when you click yes to buying whatever it is part of the additional content, like the in-game currency and whatever, or whatever digital content or digital service they have with it, they will basically give you it. That's what they're trying to say. Our duty to deliver is considered duly performed after the digital content or any means suitable for accessing or downloading the digital content is made available or accessible, or the digital service is made accessible to you. Yeah, basically, yeah, that's very standard. Very standard. Sounds very standard, looks very standard. Looks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It is a duck. Let's go. Section 2.8. You agree that in the case the additional content have not been delivered to you immediately after you request, we shall be entitled to a cure period of 3 business days to deliver. We assume no liability based on the above, except for the cases where the service or the additional content have not been delivered after the cure period has expired or otherwise required by applicable law. In the grand scheme of gaming, 3 business days is a liberty. Obviously, that's not meant to be happening at all, and it barely should happen anyway. Cool. Section 2.9. All purchases are final and non-refundable unless otherwise provided in this agreement, or as expressly provided by external platforms' terms and conditions, or as required by applicable law. Otherwise provided in this agreement, or provided by external platforms' terms and, i.e. consoles. Probably they're talking about consoles or the actual payment platforms like your PayPals and whatnot. So I think that's what they're talking about when they say expressly provided by the terms and conditions of external platforms. So That's basically your only recourse. They're the only platforms that provide a recourse for a refund. I believe is what they're trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. So yeah, we saw section 3 was going to talk about modifications. Where did it say that? Was it in section 1? No, it was in this above section here. Legally binding contract regarding access and modifications defined as 3.1. So we will literally gloss over it now. Paragraph 3. Modification of the services. Section 3.1. From time to time, the publisher may introduce updates, upgrades, patches, fixes, changes, or otherwise modify the services, the modifications, to maintain the services in conformity or for other reasons, like fixing software bugs or enhancing the functionality of the services or introducing new digital content or digital services or other seasonal content at our sole discretion. However, we do not assume any responsibility to provide ongoing support or maintenance to the services. Publisher may introduce all these things to maintain it, but they don't assume responsibility to provide. So, what, you're doing it for bands? Is that what you're trying to say? No responsibility to what? Huh? Discretion, not responsibility. Weird. So basically, modifications encompasses updates, upgrades, patches, fixes, changes, or modify. Well, that's basically why they said modifications. Okay, fine. Section 3.2. You agree that the modifications may be beyond what is necessary to maintain the services in conformity. We may further introduce modifications with respect to the service's gameplay, mechanics, balance, settings, genre, features, additional content, graphics, or any other portion thereof, alone or combined. And I hopefully noticed that being exceptionally the case with something like a pro clubs mode in this game. Because that is what I'm going to inject into my bloodline the most when I find the game to end this EAFC monopoly tyranny. Section 3.3. As a general rule, you will be required to install the modifications to continue to use the services. Very normal. Very normal. Like with any other game. Some modifications may be provided automatically when you sign into the services. That's becoming a bit more normal in EAFC now, but I don't think it used to be. I think you had to. I think it always, whenever there was an technically Ultimate Team updates, you don't need to. Yeah, technically Ultimate Team updates, you don't need to. Some modification that is given automatically each time you sign in to Ultimate Team, but not actual FIFA or EA. FIFA 2K. Who's ready for that? You consent to the publisher providing you with these automatic modifications. Why not? Why not? Section 3.4. You agree that we may limit functionality or availability of the services, change any parameters in and to the services, including but not limited to the value and usage of any digital content or digital services, or the amount of fee to purchase any digital content or digital service, or any other parameters. That sounds like something we should allow them to, or we should be content for, we should be content for them to do usually, but. Yeah, not gonna lie, I think I'm probably just gonna exit the stuff. I kind of want to read it though, but I will accept it. Oh, I haven't even scrolled through all of it. Too many distractions that yard. How slow is the scroll? Nice. Entitled to repair or replacement. Beautiful. Oh, you know what? I got bored anyway. Should I do privacy policy? Nah, whatever, man. Bro. Oh, yeah. Oh, I gotta do this all over again. Oh, the distraction just exited the yard. I don't even know what I do now. I complete this. I was partially having fun, but partially getting bored out of my mind. But yeah, I can't lie. If you stream this and you happen to find that I'm in gameplay already, I dare you to rewind all the way back to the start of the stream. I just dare you to do it and see how you find it. Wait. What's going on? I guess this is literally a terms and conditions only stream. That is horrid. Looks like I need to read more of these terms and conditions because something is going faulty, man. I know they don't expect people to read the terms and conditions, but what? Are you going to penalise me for actually reading them? Is that what you're going to do? That's crazy. I saw statutory right. Where is my statutory right? You. There's a bunch of. Wait, not a bunch of. A bunch of is crazy, but. I didn't realize the main mind behind this is a SIP reader. Yeah, let me stop it and then restart it.